Games new to me. Please like and subscribe.
Whoa, hey guys, Rob here for Games New to Me. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me. And we are talking about Star Wars: The Last Jedi. And to be more specific, we are talking about the Luke problem. Yeah, there is a problem with Luke Skywalker in this movie. It's divided the fan base. Maybe not divided, maybe it's 40-60, I don't know, but it's pretty close to divided. Now, that doesn't mean that these people don't like the movie. Of course, you can like it, you can dislike it. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not trying to convince anyone to like it or dislike it. That's not what I'm here for. I'm just here to discuss Star Wars because you know what? I'm a Star Wars fan. From way, way back, from the originals. I am a Star Wars fan. I'm proud of it. I have tons of toys. I probably have more toys now than I did when I was a kid. But that's besides the point. So what is going on with Luke Skywalker? Oh, and by the way, yeah, this is going to be heavy spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie, stop watching this video right now, because I'm warning you right this minute, we're talking pretty much nothing but spoilers. So what's the problem with Luke Skywalker? Why are people upset? I was thinking about this and I was trying to figure out a way to explain it as a metaphor or compare it to something, and I think I found something to compare it to. I'm going to explain the problem in terms of professional wrestling, because God knows I am a massive professional wrestling fan. So what is the situation? Okay, picture it. Stone Cold Steve Austin is still wrestling in the WWF. This is the Attitude Era, or whatever. Just go with me on this. Stone Cold Steve Austin is still wrestling, and he's the champion. He's beaten everyone in the WWF. I know it's the WWE now. Back then it was the WWF. He's beaten everyone. He's just finished off, Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania. And he's celebrating in the ring, and he grabs the mic and he says, "Okay, that's it. There is nobody left for me to beat. I have beaten everyone. I am the champ. Throw me a brewski. Let's celebrate." As he goes to grab a beer, Brock Lesnar's music hits. Oh, shit. Brock Lesnar comes out on stage, and the pay-per-view ends right then and there. Right then and there, it ends, fades to black, with the announcers going, "Oh my God, it's Brock Lesnar! What does this mean?" And Brock Lesnar, by the way, has been, let's say, missing from the scene for months and months and months. Nobody expected him, nothing. Or if they expected him, they didn't know what he was going to do or what part he was going to play. But anyway, so you got Stone Cold Steve Austin in the ring. You got Brock Lesnar on the ramp who just came out, and he's just staring a hole in Stone Cold Steve Austin. Pay-per-view ends. What does that say to you right then and there? It clearly says to me that we're going to get a program with Stone Cold Steve Austin defending his championship against Brock Lesnar. Okay? And we're expecting, from just that little bit of information, just the visual of Brock Lesnar on the stage and Stone Cold Steve Austin in the ring, that these two are going to butt heads and clash majorly. Right? Okay. So that's the problem we've got with Luke Skywalker. We had The Force Awakens. The Force Awakens basically was that moment at the end of Force Awakens. We have finally Rey finds Luke Skywalker. He turns around and looks at her. And that is our Brock Lesnar moment. That is like our holy shit, things are about to get surreal up in here. That's what that moment is all about. And that's also the problem. Because JJ did a great job with The Force Unleashed. I don't care. Not what am I saying? The Force Unleashed. The Force Awakens. And obviously, it seemed like they had a plan for Rian Johnson, who wrote and directed The Last Jedi, to continue that story. But Rian came in, and he even said as much. They didn't have a plan going into the next movie. So they set up, Brock Lesnar is right there on the stage. You've clearly got the rivalry right there. in wrestling terms. You've got Luke Skywalker right there on the stage. I'm juxtaposing Luke Skywalker for Brock Lesnar, okay? You got Luke Skywalker right there. We waited an entire movie. We waited years and years. Finally, he's right there on our screen, in our face. He turns around. He looks at Rey. He takes his lightsaber. That's the end of The Force Awakens. That sets up the most epic of epic fan theories, okay? That is just like, oh my God, can you believe this? We cried when Han died, but we knew he had to go. We understood how he served the story. Now, in The Last Jedi, there is no payoff to Luke Skywalker. At least in many fans' eyes, there is no payoff. There is no... I'm going to go to the story of the retired gunslinger who's a drunk coming out of retirement. You guys know what I'm talking about. Old gunslinger used to be somebody, now he's nobody until he's needed once again, so he dons the pistols one more time, and not pistols, the revolvers one more time, and heads out and for one last big shot at glory. That's the story we were expecting. What we got was a bit of a confusing mess. It's like Rian Johnson heard all the critics, everybody on the internet talking about The Force Awakens and how, it was just a retread. Well, so he thinks to himself, all right, since we don't really have a plan, we're just going to fly by the seat of our pants, and I'm going to make the movie I want to make because I wrote it, I'm going to direct it. And that's a problem because The Force Awakens sets up Luke Skywalker in the same way as Brock Lesnar coming out at the end of a Stone Cold Steve Austin match sets up that rivalry. It's the exact same thing. The booking, in wrestling terms, or writing, is on the wall. It's clear as daylight. The problem Rian Johnson made is that he was trying to be too different and too cute with treating Luke Skywalker. He was trying to troll us at every turn. It's like, you weren't expecting this. You weren't expecting that. You weren't expecting this. I'm going to give them no reason to complain. And by doing that, he gave everybody a reason to complain. Now, I'm not talking about my own feelings here, about what I think of the movie. I still have to see the movie again. I've seen it. I need to see it again. But the problem is, we never got that cathartic release of emotion, ever. We got Luke Skywalker. We had this huge build-up. We had Brock Lesnar, Luke Skywalker, same thing. That appearance at the very end of the pay-per-view of the movie, whatever, it's the exact same thing. That is a huge emotional sudden build-up. That is just sudden tension. And in The Last Jedi, we didn't get that cathartic release. We didn't have the mentor-student relationship. We didn't have the final showdown for the retired ex-drunk gunslinger. We really just had... I don't even know how to describe it. Yeah, Luke ends up being heroic, but up until the end... it takes R2-D2 to replay Princess Leia from A New Hope, that original message she sends to Obi-Wan, for him to actually say, okay, I'll get involved. What the hell is that about? I mean, I get it. That I love the idea that he's figured that he's had it with both the light side, the dark side, the Jedi, the Sith. He thinks all that's bullshit. I love that storyline. I think that's fantastic. Him not hardly even interacting with Rey was very anticlimactic. And him going as a projection of himself to save the rebels was really cool and a complete cop-out at the same time. It's like it's like one negates the other. It's like, yeah, that was an incredible display of power, while at the same time being a complete cop-out, because basically, in essence, Kylo Ren fought against a dream sequence. That's the equivalent of it. And that's how a lot of people felt about it. Now, I don't know if you felt about it that way. I still have to see it again, because honestly, I shouldn't have watched it for the first time in 3D because I end up getting distracted by all the details. Like, oh my god, look at Rey's staff. It has these details in it that I never noticed before because it's now in 3D. So I kept getting distracted by stupid stuff. So I have to see it again. I got enough of the story. I understand the story, but I need to sit down and watch it again without 3D, without that distraction, and just understand the story. I know that I liked a lot about this movie. A lot. I don't know the final grade of this because I don't know how to feel about it. I see both sides of the argument so clearly. It is a fact we did not get that cathartic, that emotional release from Brock Lesnar and Stone Cold Steve Austin finally face to face in the ring for the first time. Just like we never got Kylo Ren and his former master, Luke Skywalker, face to face for the first time. We never got that. We got a dream sequence of Luke fighting a non-dream sequence of Kylo Ren, but that is not satisfying. I understand that. I get that. I'm not entirely satisfied with that. I love that Luke showed an incredible abundance of power, surpassing even Master Yoda, but I am irritated on some level that we never got. There wasn't even a clash of lightsabers in this story. Now, mind you, I'm the kind of person of like less is more. But when it comes to Star Wars, you have to have at least one clash of lightsabers between the main antagonist and protagonist. It has to happen on some level. We didn't get that. In fact, not a whole lot happened in this movie. Pretty much it was kind of Mad Max Fury Road, but not as good. It was basically a car chase movie for the entire time. That's basically what it was. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I love Mad Max Fury Road. I know a lot of people don't. I do. I think it was brilliant. But that's not... I mean, there's a way to do that in Star Wars, but I don't know if this was it. So yeah, in the end, in my opinion, what went wrong with Luke Skywalker in this story is that we had this incredible build-up. The whole last movie, the entirety of The Force Awakens was building up to the big reveal of Luke Skywalker, or Brock Lesnar coming out at the end of the Stone Cold match. We got that. That we have. So the booking, the writing is right there in front of us. We can taste it. We can smell it. We can poke at it with our fingers. We can caress it. We know. We feel it. But no, the next movie just completely subverts that. It's as if Brock Lesnar on Monday Night Raw comes down to the ring when Stone Cold's in there, says, "Hey buddy, how you doing?" slaps him on the back and drinks a beer with him. It's like, what? I mean, that's an extreme and not a perfect example, but it's the same anticlimax that a lot of fans felt, and I get that. I so get that. Like I said, I gotta see the movie again, but in my opinion, Rian Johnson was so busy being cute about subverting expectations that he, like I said, Luke Skywalker, in the same scene, he's both displaying an incredible, uncomparable amount of force power, greater than anything Yoda ever did, while at the same time being a dream sequence. And we all know how dream sequences feel. And here's the problem. Yeah, I have no doubt that Luke Skywalker is going to be in the next movie as some version of a Force ghost. I completely expect that. Honestly, if he has not surpassed the Force, become a luminescent figure of sorts, a figure of just pure light, essentially, which is better than a Force ghost because he can actually do stuff in the real world, it's going to be a letdown. And don't get me wrong, I like Force ghosts. I like them fine, but they are nowhere near as satisfying as the real living, breathing thing. I want to see Yoda. I want to hear what he has to say. It's not the same thing as him being there. There's a disconnect. There's an emotional disconnect, and Luke being a Force ghost, just a plain Force ghost, is going to be a letdown. And that's the problem, because we know what's going to happen with this. Either Luke Skywalker pulled some sort of Jedi thing to make everybody think he really is dead, and that's why we see him disappear at the end of The Last Jedi, or he's dead. And if he's dead, that means he's only coming back as a Force ghost. Now, maybe he's a super powerful Force ghost to the point where he's almost not dead, but that completely negates the point of The Last Jedi. So, I don't know what the hell Disney's going to do, but I definitely, 100% recognize the feelings of people who are deeply unsatisfied with The Last Jedi. I think it did a lot of things right. There's a lot that I like about it. I think that Luke was booked badly, to use wrestling terms. Rian Johnson didn't know what to do with him, or he wanted to make a completely different movie and wanted to get rid of the old characters as quickly as possible, which is a huge mistake because you know what? We love those characters. We understood that Han had to die. We get that. But we didn't want... This felt like the finale of the third movie kind of thing. That's what it felt like. Let's say Luke has lost his arms and legs in a fight, or he's been severely injured and he is unable to face Kylo face to face, and then he projects himself like he did in The Last Jedi, with arms, with legs, with a lightsaber, with that goatee, with his haircut. That makes sense. And then he can die and disappear, and that's fine. That is a satisfying ending. But this was... it. In all honesty, and I kind of feel this way, and I kind of see the other side too, so I'm really split on it, but it just feels like such a incredibly missed opportunity. Anyway, guys, that's my thoughts on Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi and the way he was booked, to use wrestling terms, and a lot of you wrestling fans who are my subscribers will get that. And speaking of my subscribers, I love you guys dearly. You guys are the greatest. Please keep the comments coming. Let me know what you want to talk about. Let me know what you think about The Last Jedi. Let me know what you think about Luke Skywalker. Let me know what you think of my thoughts about what they did with Luke Skywalker's storyline between The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens. Let me know if you agree. If you're new to this channel, just happened upon this video or me, won't you hit that candy-like subscribe button and give me a chance to win you over full time? You'll not only be helping to grow a fantastic community, you'll not only have my complete and most sincere gratitude, but most importantly, from your perspective, and if YouTube is working correctly, you'll always be notified whenever a new video goes up on the channel. This is Rob, for Games New to Me, saying, I'm divided on The Last Jedi. That's the truth. Until next time, guys, be good to each other, and I'll catch you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.